Welcome into another edition of the Gator Nation Football Podcast Film Review. I'm your host, James DiVirgilio, and today we'll be looking at Florida's defense versus Charlotte's offense. Florida's defense continued their solid performance in 2023. They are now the third-ranked defense in the entire country when it comes to defensive success rate, which essentially measures how well a team is doing on first, second, and third down. How many yards would you expect to get, and how many is your defense actually allowing? Florida was ranked over 100th in that category last year, so a remarkable turnaround indeed. In this particular game, Florida allowed 211 yards. Charlotte was 3 for 13 on third down. Florida had 4 sacks and 6 tackles for loss, so certainly a solid day at the office. Of course, it was not perfect, as you're going to see on this film, but Florida did get to play a lot of different guys in this game, and I think there's several things that are helpful that are now on film for the team to see and learn from should they encounter it in the future. All right, without further ado, if you like the content on this channel, sub to this channel right now. Go ahead and hit that sub button. That way you'll get the content each and every week automatically delivered right to you. No need to refresh and wait for it to come out. And follow us on social media. Check out the podcast each and every Monday where we bring you in-depth analysis on the Florida Gators. Consider dropping us a dono where you can support our efforts to bring you more of this type of content throughout the year. And finally, check out our merch, which is in the link description. All right, with all that being said, let's get to the film, and let's start with the very first play of the game. Former UF quarterback Jalen Jones, he was really here for just a second. Very elusive guy. A lot of you, of course, saw this here at the Swamp. This is taking nothing away from him. He's a top-level running quarterback, and that's an important thing to note. This is not just some guy. This is an elite runner, and you saw that on display, although Florida, again, really largely bottled him up. He did have some moments, but all in all, they had 29 rushing attempts, with 20 or so of them coming from him, and they generated 2.7 yards per rush. So really, this is a solid day at the office for Florida, especially given how poorly the offense performed. So therefore, Florida's defense was on the field for almost 30 minutes in this football game, again, largely shutting Charlotte down. So very first play of the game, something Florida has not seen thus far this season, and they're going to face it early on out of the gate, and that is going to be an option play. All right, first things first, if you are the edge defender here, edge defender right here, we're going to see our nickel right here, Jaden Hill, split the difference between the running back and the quarterback, which is ideal. You want to slow up this exchange. You want to slow this up, which he successfully does, and now he's going to attempt to make a play. This pitch now becomes much harder. Check there by Jaden Hill. Then you want to have your defense flow. Here comes Scooby, and here comes your safety, Castle, coming in to fill in, and there you go through gap right there, and then coming around the outside right here. So perfect defense off the start. Obviously, Florida prepared for both quarterbacks Charlotte would throw at them. The challenge of Jalen Jones was running, and right out of the gate, Florida passes the test on the very first play. Excellent defense out of the gate. 3rd and 7, first drive, third play. One thing I've really enjoyed about Florida's defense this year is the chess match that Coach Ham engages in. You're going to see Florida line up one-way pre-snap. Now Charlotte looks to the sideline. They change their play. Florida's also going to change their front and their alignment. I just absolutely love this. Very sophisticated stuff. Florida's going to change, and Florida is going to come with a simulated pressure. So again, right now you're only going to send 4. 4 guys are only coming. This is not an actual pressure. You're not bringing 5. We're going to drop back here with Princely. So we're still just bringing 4. We're going to get home here with Wingo, right? Wingo's going to fly through here, blow up the running back and pass pro. Boom, blow up the running back right here, get the quarterback off the spot. That is going to allow Caleb Banks, who is working his man into the backfield, to get right to Jalen Jones, get a hand on him, slow him down. Here's our first down marker. Now we got eyes on. Eyes on. This is what you want to see. Be a long run to get to 7 there. He's off to the races. And then there we are, wrapping up, making the tackle. Number 11, a true freshman, Kelby Collins. One thing Florida's defensive line has done so well is pursue even after, right? Even after they've broken the line of scrimmage. It's excellent defense. You never quit, right? 11 guys going after the ball carrier. You see it right there. Team tackling, get off the field on third down. Charlotte, not a good third down team entering this game. They would not be a good third down team in this game. Florida amongst the best right now on third downs. And obviously a very, very solid defense comes out and gets a very, very solid start. 3rd and 8, Charlotte's second quarterback, Trexler Ivy in the game, a pocket passer. Florida again going to bring a simulated pressure. Both linebackers are going to come here through the A-gap. We're still only bringing 4, so we're not bringing a pressure. Going to drop off here. And then Charlotte is going to have a route that is open. So Charlotte runs the right route here. They're going to sit right on the first down line underneath the safety. This play is here. Trexler sees it. But Wingo, once again, we saw him earlier, is going to have another excellent play. Watch Wingo work. Wingo starts right here, then works across, following the quarterback to get his hands up in the throwing lanes. Fantastic stuff. He's responsible for largely breaking this play up, of course. Could have been incomplete. We're still going to get contact here. But he breaks this play up, gets Florida off the field on 3rd down. Big time stuff there from number 15. Excellent playing. Something we've seen on film a lot from Florida is awareness from linebackers and defensive linemen about throw lanes. If you're not going to get to the quarterback and you start to see that motion going, put your hands up in the throw lane. We've seen multiple deflected passes. That is a sign of a top defensive line when it comes to awareness and recognizing that you can affect the game even if you are not pressuring the quarterback. 3rd and 8, here is Florida's SEC leading 3rd down defense that we talked about earlier. It would get even better in this game, numbers-wise. What you're going to see here from Charlotte is a really nice play. In fact, Florida was affected by Charlotte's screen game in this game. They ran several really nice screens. Here's one of them. We're going to bring a jet sweep motion across, get some window dressing, trying to get the defense to flow this way, followed by a fake right here. We're going to fake a zone read, fake this handoff, go right back into play action. There you go. And now we've got Florida's defense flowing this way, but the real part of this creativity, Florida with the split safety here seems to be zoning up this and manning up this with the safety over top. So Florida's man on the bottom or zone up top. Now it's possible that somebody makes a mistake here. Right away you can see that Shamar is going to bubble out into a zone. So I can't say for sure exactly again what Florida's in because you get Princely dropping here into his zone. You could have man here and then a safety over top here. So there's some interesting things going on either side of the field. But what matters is Charlotte gets what they want, which is a whole bunch of white jerseys here and only one Florida jersey here in Shamar James on this screenplay. So all of this flow and action has definitely worked to influence Florida. I'll rewind it for you here. The key player to fake is Wingo because he's reading the play and he absolutely eats this run fake like it's his favorite cookie, and he is still following this here for quite some time, right? Which leads me to believe again that this is on Wingo. He's made a lot of really good plays here, but he's got Princely bubbling out to cover the running back in case the running back goes this way, which means he needs to be a read and react defender. And if he is reading and reacting and notices this fake like Shamar does, he gets here and maybe stops this, but he does not. Fake works. It's football. Sometimes the offense is going to win. And right here, Shamar correctly takes the outside lane, assuming and hoping he's got help to the inside, which he does not. Tries to make a hero tackle, doesn't have it. We're off to the races. And Charlotte converts a 3rd and 8 early on in the game with Florida up 10-0. Same drive, just a few plays later, and someone is going to forget to account for the running back from Charlotte, and this would have been a touchdown. If not a touchdown, it would have been all the way into the red zone for sure. We're just going to slowly creep out and get everything you want. First of all, no contact from Florida. Scooby or Jason Marshall could absolutely right now make a hit here. He could absolutely make a hit right here, re-alter him, slow him down. He does not. He clean releases. Princely is going to be the savior on this play. He gets extra quick pressure. Of course, they are allowing pressure to come through here. They're not preventing it. You can see it right here. They're going to pass him through. They want the pressure to come through to get all the linemen up the field to set up the screen so they cannot come back and make a tackle. But Jason Marshall looks to be coming on a blitz anyway. So we had a corner blitz. Is a perfect time for this play call, right into a corner blitz. Scooby also coming downhill hard, leaving nobody accounting for this running back. And if Princely does not get here a beat quick enough, if he's probably a step or two slower on this speed rush here, this is going to be a huge play. Instead, ball is overthrown, and there's nobody on this side of the field for about 40 yards. Going to be a huge, huge, huge play. Florida dodging a serious bullet here, and that's all because of Princely's speed rush off the edge, which just gets the timing of this play off enough. Otherwise, that was going to be a big hitter for Charlotte. So again, the screen game active early. Florida does get a stop here on 3rd down and 3, but largely because of the play of Princely not because they got the scheme right there. And again, that could have been an error in the scheme, right? Very possible somebody should have been accounting for the running back. All would have been fine if that was the case. But as you saw there, nobody did. So either a blown assignment or just a really good play call versus a blitz from Florida. Hard to know, but it's unlikely from what we've seen from Ham that he would send a blitz where no one's accounting for the running back. I can tell you that seems pretty unlikely. So I think that's going to be a player error there that could have cost Florida dearly. Instead, Princely saves the day. After several good plays from Florida, it's now 3rd and 23. Defense, again, really dominating right now, the alpha of this football team without question when compared to the offense and obviously the, quote, game changers or special teams. In this situation here, you're going to see Caleb Banks again having a phenomenal football game, putting a lot of good stuff on tape. He's going to be what I'm going to call the hero of this play. We're going to get orbit motion here around, play fake. We get a run fake here. We're going to fake a swing pass here. A lot of stuff going on. Only problem is we're going to pass off Banks here and assume he's not going to get there as fast as he gets here. Now, I can assure you when Charlotte was running this in practice, they did not have somebody exploding as quickly as Caleb Banks was off the ball, and this reroute was probably enough. It's not enough here, as by the time he gets ready to throw this pass to the running back on a very well set up screen again, he can't get it there. And this is well set up, right? Here's your left tackle coming here, and we're accounted for. This is it. There's nobody left on this side of the field. There is no one else there. It's 3rd and 23. This could have gone for a first down, assuming, again, this is a big assumption here, this left tackle is going to get all the way out here and take out Jason Marshall one-on-one. If he gets around him, we shed a block here, we're okay, right? But this is still a well-designed screenplay. This is what you want. You want most of the players over here. The flow worked. Caleb Banks, though, says, no. You didn't account for me, at least not enough. Tries to get it out here again, and yet Trexler 0 for 2 on screens that could have worked. And in fact, you can see right here that Jason Marshall actually already easily beats the left tackle's block, and we're probably going to be fine. But still, a well-set-up screenplay by Charlotte again. Florida this time with 3 guys there, probably going to get off their blocks. But nice design, but not enough time for it to work. Florida there, Caleb Banks pressure, just a 3-man pressure, gets home, puts Trexler on the ground, and puts Charlotte off the field. 1st and 10 for Charlotte. You're going to get a speed option here off the edge. Houston product. Manny Nunnery is going to come in at linebacker, and you're going to see 2 things here. One, exactly how to run the option from Jalen Jones, and how not to handle this if you were in the defensive look Florida is in. Manny Nunnery, going to be the edge defender, does not have a second defender immediately shooting the gap, which means he needs to slow this play down. That's his chief goal. Just slow the exchange down from quarterback to running back. He cannot come in hot, because if he does, we do not have defenders coming yet. Slow this down so that we can get these guys to the ball. Right now, we're good. We've broken down. Everything looks good. What's going to happen next is not ideal. If you're Jalen Jones, though, you see one defender here, you want to run right at him, get this pitch out at the last second so your running back has a full head of steam, and we've got this all blocked up here, right? That's exactly what you want to do. So check here to Jalen Jones. He wins this individual chess match here, takes on Nunnery, who's going to settle down and decide I'm taking him out. I got my shot in the quarterback here, and he does take it. Perfect pitch right at the last second. Pitch is out. Clean exchange. And now we're off to the races, where Shamar James did not have enough time to get there. And it turns into a really nice gain for Charlotte. So very well executed speed option there for Charlotte. Again, Nunnery in position. He's got to slow that down. Got to slow that play down as much as possible to allow Shamar James to get there. But either way, good play call, right timing, nice execution by Charlotte. 2nd and 10 for Charlotte, and here's a route concept that we've drawn up on this channel throughout the years multiple times, including twice this year, which is just a very simple route here. We're going to clear out if it's a cover 3, and we're just going to run a wheel right behind him, right? So I like to call this like a trail or a wake route. That's my own terminology to keep things simple, but you're basically running in the wake of the clear out player, right? And this works really well because if you do get cover 3, he's going to bail. Same thing if you get cover 4. And then your underneath zone defender has got to get over there in time to stop this. That's a long run for a linebacker if he's lined up here, safety here. Now, obviously, you could have your safety come down here. They could play man. A lot of things could happen. But assuming you get cover 3, this is going to be a really good look for you. Sideline race in the wake, clear out the defender. Safety can't help. He's going to stay on top of this deepest route, and you've got to win. Now, Florida actually, I think, is in man defense here. And what's going to happen is we mess this up. There's some conversation between Shamar and Nunnery. We don't know what that means, but there's obviously a lot of conversation going on there. And then what happens is not right, as Nunnery's going to come in for just a second and act like he's faking, and then he's going to take off. Only problem is everyone else here seems to be in man. Here's a safety. We're going to wall this off to the outside. We're at least could be playing cover 3 tech here, but we've got man here with Mitchell, and now we have Nunnery who's sort of playing a solo zone, right? Here comes Scooby in, kind of as a late spy. We're bringing a corner blitz here. Hard to figure out, again, exactly what's happening, but I'm assuming if we're bringing a corner blitz that we don't have enough guys to sit zone behind it, especially if the only one zoning is actually Nunnery. So he's zoning. That's not going to be ideal because he is running the exact route I just told you about. And if that happens, and we know that both the safeties got to stay on top of the deepest route, and he's going to go with the deepest route, that means he's wide open. And that's exactly what happens. Easy throw here. We almost get here. Freshman Jakeem Jackson almost gets there. And again, if Nunnery just does his job on hike here, doesn't fake this, no need to fake this. No need to fake this, right? This is too cute. If you know this is your responsibility, you don't have time to come in here and get back. You just got to immediately get back. And if he does that, this play is going to be dead. Going to be a sack most likely. Could be a strip sack instead. Open up, back foot in the ground, see exactly what you want to see, deliver the football. Now, this takes too long, right? If you're quarterbacking here, critique here of Jalen Jones is, right now, you know you have this. He's running with it. Safety's over top. This guy's wide open. You let this ball go. His head's not turned around yet. That's okay. You're going to throw a touch pass into all of his beautiful green grass over here and let him catch it, because the longer you wait. Zero reason to wait that long. He waits until he's completely turned around, and you do not need to do that. By doing that, he almost gets strip sacked. Look how far underneath this play Nunnery is. Here's your man defense there by Mitchell, and this turns into a huge gain. Safety on top, cover 3 tech, or obviously in this case, just a man defense there on top as well. That seems to be a blown coverage by me. I think it's supposed to be man. But regardless, that does show you the power of a very simple vertical concept. 2-on-1ing a corner, or at least causing a linebacker to have to run vertically, is a very good idea. It's very simple. Works versus cover 3. And again, even versus man, it's a long run for a linebacker. So a simple look for Charlotte. Now, Florida most likely wouldn't have been playing nearly as much 3 linebacker sets as they have, right? They really sparingly used Jaden Hill in this game. I think they were resting him. That led to a few issues Florida had coverage-wise. They frequently are not playing 3 linebackers like you see here, especially versus a running quarterback in the scenario where they have an 11 personnel set like this one, right? I think Florida was using him sparingly in general, and that leads to this play here. Either way, a good example of that exact route concept we talked about, and also an example of a late throw from Jalen Jones. One thing we've definitely seen from Florida consistently across the board this season is they get the numbers game right, and you're going to see them get it right again here. Notice Florida's going to sit in a cover 0. It's 3rd and goal. They know that the quarterback, Jalen Jones, not a great passer, much more likely a runner, and they're going to make sure they have numbers, right? There's 7 here for Charlotte. There's 6 here for Florida, with a defender who seemingly is not guarding anyone. That's going to be the safety, Miguel Mitchell, and he is actually going to be the spy, right? We're going to take a look. He's going to watch any route that may come out here early on, but then really he's responsible for anything that Jalen Jones does. And right away, it's going to be a quarterback run. Florida largely holds their umbrella, if you will, keeping him to have to run up the middle. And then the 2D tackles are here with the chance to make a play. Now it's up to Mitchell to simply make this tackle. It's 3rd and 7. He's got to make a 12-yard run from here. Mitchell has a significant angle on him. And as we can see, this does collapse. The only route he has is straight through. This allows Mitchell to know he's got to come straight through here. I just need to make this tackle. And Mitchell decides to go for what I like to call the dead fish tackle, where you just sort of flop yourself in there and hope that your body does the tackling for you. Instead, this should be a very easy wrap-up tackle right here. Wrap up, get your arms out there, use them, wrap up, put him down, and he's tackled somewhere around the 2-yard line, setting up 4th and goal. Instead, Miguel Mitchell dead fishes himself right across the play. Easy touchdown for Jalen Jones. And Charlotte is on the board 16-7, a game that is closer than it probably should have been, given how Florida kept choosing to kick field goals, kept getting stopped on 3rd and 1. And Charlotte now in the end zone with a chance to make this game much more interesting. 40 seconds, 2nd and 8, not a lot of time left here. Charlotte with no timeouts. Florida more than happy to allow them to run and juice this clock out. You just got to make some tackles, and that's exactly what Charlotte's going to choose to do. Another speed option look here. Florida playing this safe. Notice they do not have a linebacker even filling the edge right here. They're simply willing to keep this play in bounds. Shamar James wisely gets to the outside, Great defensive technique here. Turn this play back into this gap here, keep him in bounds. And now it's going to leave our safety, who is here accounting for this, to make this tackle. Now, ideally, Florida would have gotten better edge control than they did off the line, right? Right here, we try to get it. We just don't have it. Again, 2nd and 8, 21 seconds left. They're running the ball on their own 20-yard line. That's why this looks like this. Not a realistic look, but this is where you want your freshman safety to make a tackle. Now, Castle's been fantastic, especially in pass coverage. This is a big ask. You're a freshman. You're coming downhill, and you got to stop a very athletic quarterback running at you, right? This is hard in the NFL, and it's going to be hard here, and Castle just breaks down pretty nicely here. Unfortunately, does not get a good launch out of his breakdown, and he is not even close to touching Jalen Jones, who's riding for a significant gain down the sideline, allowing Charlotte to at least get a chance, perhaps for a Hail Mary right here because of this missed tackle. Now, again, that's tough to do coming into the hole like that, but something for Castle to learn from on film. What can he do better? Well, ideally, he breaks down a touch too early. See how early he starts breaking down right here? You want to break down maybe within 3-ish yards. So close this gap to about 3 yards before you start breaking down. So you still be coming downhill, break down right about here. If he breaks down there, he doesn't have this much space between him. And now with so much space between him, any move he makes, if he's the quicker guy, he's got more momentum, you are not going to recover unless you are exceptionally quick, right? So he breaks down too early. That's the fault we have here. Do not break down that early. Do not break down too late, or then you're going to go flying by him. There's a sweet spot to break down. This is too much. This is too much right here when he first starts breaking down right here. Way too much distance to break down, right? Close this in half. Give yourself a chance to make a stop. Instead, we go out the back door, and it sets up a play for Charlotte before the end of the half. All right, thanks to that run, Charlotte's going to probably try at least to get into this area for a field goal, or maybe try it all with a bomb. But none of that's going to matter because Florida's going to bring something that Coach Ham loves to bring, which is going to be this double A gap, simulated pressure. Drop back here. Bring your 2 linebackers, and Shamar James is going to get home, hopping over the cut block of the running back. Look at the athleticism here. And then grabbing the leg of Jalen Jones and putting him down. I mean, that is a sensational play. One more time, start to finish. Florida's look right here. Double A gap, simulated pressure. Beat the pass pro, the running back. All 4s, hunt the quarterback, put him down, and the half. Sensational stuff. A turnover by Florida has now made this a football game for sure in the third quarter. Florida was 28-point favorites in this game, and now they're not looking comfortable. Aggressive defense by Florida is going to pay off here again as well. Now notice Shamar James, he's a sophomore, but he plays like a senior. If you watch him play during the game, he frequently gets everyone lined up correctly. Here's Sapp, who's been a fantastic contributor for Florida, lined up incorrectly. Shamar James getting him lined up. That is the job of the middle linebacker. Make sure that you get your team lined up correctly. Here's a freshman again who plays very heady. We saw him a few seconds ago getting beat, coming in to make a tackle, Jordan Castle. He is going to blow up a trick play. This is going to be a double pass from Charlotte, but this has no shot because we're bringing edge pressure here from our safety. Great timing here from Coach Ham, and I want you to look at how he handles this. Eyes up on the quarterback. Look at the angle that he takes. He sees now, okay, ball's being thrown out here, and then he immediately widens out. Does not take this route, but he widens out, go to where the ball's going to get to the outside shoulder as much as possible, make him slow his momentum, turn him back this way, stall him out, and then make the tackle. Excellent. Now, again, he naturally winds up being in a much better breakdown period here. Guy's not coming at him, but you can still see the point here. To be able to stop this move from happening, huge loss, excellent play from the true freshman wearing number 14. 3rd and 15 after the turnover. Charlotte's now minus 5 yards on this drive, and let's see what Florida does here. Play fake, pressure off the edge from Princely. Look at this excellent control of the fit here of the line, right? Line of scrimmage, nice and controlled. And now we're widening out here. Really nice work by Shamar. I can't say enough about him. Obviously, Scooby Williams also has really taken off, but Shamar James has been an anchor on this team. I can't imagine having Shamar James and Hopper on the same team now in Missouri, but regardless, that's a topic for another day. Gets to the outside here. Perfect stuff, right? Look at all this space over here. What you don't want to have happen here is this pass to be thrown well enough that he can choose to go out here. Now, this play is being blocked to come this way. But regardless, take away the optionality. It's why you want to engage the outside, set the edge, always set the edge. Edge set here. He's crawling, going for another crawling base tackle. And then who do we see again? But freshman number 11, Kelby Collins, in here again on film, making a tackle. This screen does not go anywhere. And Florida gets off the field, sending Charlotte with a negative yardage possession after the turnover. Excellent stuff from Florida's best unit. 3rd and 5, we've seen Florida use Princely a lot as a flat defender, bubbling in here in zone. You watched him do it against Tennessee. Florida utilized this look several times here in this game as well. Now, Florida is completely confused on this play. We're going to start with that. I'm going to focus on Princely because he's not confused. He's actually doing the right thing. He could do something better, but Florida completely confused. You've got Shamar pointing at Nunnery pointing at somebody, sort of like the Spider-Man meme where it's no you, no you, no you. And really, we're confused. We're so confused that take a look at this. A completely wide open, this is everything, right? Now, again, quarterbacks, make sure, and he notices this. He notices, right? Jalen Jones right now knows that this is a good play. They are not ready. Make sure if you can, you scan the field to see where your best option is as quickly as you possibly can. If your defense is not lined up like Florida's isn't, make sure you get the max expected value shot there. If he had all peered left just for a split second more, he would have seen this is the way to go. Instead, he's fixated here on 3rd down, thinking I got 2-on-1. I'm going up top. Opens up, does go up top. Florida drops out. Princely is supposed to be covering this route, and they're going to stick this for 5 yards. Could have been way more than 5 yards given the mass confusion Florida had on this play. Not a good look by Florida, but if you're Princely, you really need to be, especially on 3rd and 5, if you're going to do this and you're going to be this guy doing this, you got a guy dropping here, you have got to absolutely sprint to this spot. You're basically going to be a drive-by, run-through defender, full speed ahead, just get here. Make that throw hit you in the back, if you will, and you can see he kind of hesitates because he's going to look back first. He's going to look back, and he's like, oh, that's kind of close. 1st down. Now, look, sometimes you can't stop this, but again, if you know you're going to be defending this route here, on hike, you are flying there. You're not worried about anything that comes in here. It's not your job, right? And if he does fly there, I actually think he probably stops this. But regardless, Florida gets away with one here. Significant, they only gained 6 yards and not 30 yards on a busted play here. Again, Florida had some issues lining up at times. They were switching players quite a bit. Either way, not an excuse. I'm sure Coach Ham's not happy about some of those mishaps Florida had, and they, again, get away with one here. 3rd and 6, something we've seen Florida do very well is keep what I'm going to call rush lane integrity. Not only keeping it on the edge, but also keeping it in here so that you essentially surround the quarterback and you do not let him escape outside or through an obvious gap where you are trying to play hero ball and get yourself a sack. Now, right away, you get some weird stuff here. It looks like Florida probably wants to send yet again a double A gap, except Shamar thinks perhaps there's a false start there. He's not going. That's going to slow him up. It's going to change this play. If he's coming here, he's already up here. This result's probably different. But still, key point here, Wingo is in a good spot now to control the edge. He's going to slip back to the inside. Now, in this particular case, that's probably okay. Why do I say that? Because he is not the furthest outside defender. McClellan is. You can see that that's him here. This is going to be Shamar rather, and then we're here, right? So you can see how this fans out accordingly. So this is going to be okay. He knows he's allowed to be to the interior here, so he shoves off his man and takes an interior route, and then this pump fake gets thrown, which is pretty nasty. Jalen Jones knows, hey, I've seen Wingo get me twice on batted balls. I am going to pump fake him and then take off at the backside. McClellan is not looking, right? He loses the edge here, and now he's where he shouldn't be, and now we have no one over here. So Florida's done a really, really good job all season of not doing this. They do it here, but Shamar James, as he is a super heady player right here, gets some distance and immediately recognizes, I need to close this out. He takes off. Here comes freshman Castle. Here comes Scooby. Right, everyone's hauling, and here's the 1st down line coming downhill here as well. Now, if he just runs, does he get this? Going to be close. Instead, he chooses to throw the ball across the line of scrimmage. which right there, he's across the line of scrimmage. This is the line of scrimmage. Everything's across it. Whole body's across it. Nice pass, but it's going to be an illegal forward pass, and Charlotte will punt again. Still a close ball game in the third quarter, 19-7, but another stop for Florida's defense. All right, 4th down and 1 now for Charlotte. They're still in the game. We saw Florida get Tennessee on this last week. There's no chance Charlotte's going to get Florida on this, right? No way. No way. Going to shift. No worries. We're good. We're locked in. Okay, everyone knows. There's no way they're doing this. We're good. And then Sapp right here decides, I'm not good. I need it. I'm coming through here. I'm breaking this play up. They must be going for it. They've thrown 4 motions at me already. I'm coming in hot. And then wisely here, we get the contact initiated by the offensive lineman. Right there, the right tackle is going to touch him. Very, very smart. Touch him. Bingo. First down, Charlotte. Loss of discipline there by Sapp, a guy who's been great for Florida, made a mental mistake there. These are the right games to have mental mistakes in. You certainly do not want to make that same mistake again, Sapp, for the rest of this season, nor does anyone else on defense, right? Especially the more shifts you see thrown at you on this play, the more likely it is they're not going, right? You see a formation change there, you see a motion there. Either way, stay home. Don't give them a freebie, make them earn it. 2nd and 17, another really well-designed screenplay here from Charlotte. Jet sweep, we've seen them use this a lot here. He actually is open on the jet sweep right away, so not a good look there from Florida. The jet sweep goes basically unguarded, but more importantly, the jet sweep is window dressing along with the run fake to get what they want to get to, which is right here. Watch how long this play takes to develop. Tight end's going to block and engage pretty well, shove him towards the quarterback to give himself some space, and set up here. This play works so well that even Shamar James, who's very hard to fool, is in fact fooled. He's still looking at Jalen Jones. Ball is now out here. We've got an armada of blockers, and we are in business if we're Charlotte. Take out Shamar. Take out Jaden Hill. Jaden Hill knifes under. Is that a good idea in this situation? Probably not. Why? Always go to the outside because you have help defenders on the inside, right? So Jaden Hill, who typically does a great job, decides maybe he can get there. That's why he makes that decision. He cannot get there. Wrong decision. And then tackle made by R.J. Moten after a first down on 2nd and 17. I can assure you that play is not going to be sitting well with Coach Ham. All these screens, I'm sure, did not sit well with him. I bet he lost sleep over it because he's an excellent coordinator who was always trying to make things perfect. And Charlotte got Florida multiple times in this game. 3rd and 7, Florida going to send just 3 here. Here is the freshman who's popped off on film this game, Kelby Collins. He is going to win 1v1. Here's Caleb Banks, who's been getting a lot of mention, and there's Princely, who has been having an excellent season as well. All 3 of them are going to do a great job here. Let's watch the action. Sweet little setup move to the outside of the guard before he steps to the inside. Set him up. Quick swim move. Get to the inside. Princely speed rushing. Banks winning here as well. And then you've got the tackle made by the freshman, Kelby Collins, finished off by Banks. Really great stuff. Florida with another sack in this game. Florida came in last in the SEC in sacks, I think partially due to schedule, who they played, how they tend to run offense in general. Regardless, you can have a great defense and actually not generate a ton of turnovers or generate a ton of sacks. Florida does get pressure for the most part. They are getting there. They are forcing quarterbacks off the spot. So again, sometimes you can pull those things off, as Florida's defense is absolutely doing this season. And in a game that is still a game, a big sack on 3rd and 7. 3rd and 13 here for Charlotte. Charlotte's going to throw short of the sticks. I'm showing you this play for a couple of reasons. One, again, Florida with good pocket integrity. Keep Jalen Jones in the middle, make him a pocket passer. We're occupying 3 guys here with 1, right? Caleb Banks has got 3 guys with 1. We're working around the edge there with Searcy, and then essentially playing this well. Underneath Fender and Shamar, over top there with Devin Moore. You can have that all day long. It's going to be 4th and 5 now. Now, if I'm Charlotte, I'm down 19-7 with 4:44 left. I am going for this. I'm pretty surprised Charlotte punted this football. That to me seems like a losing mentality. I don't know if you're in for a moral victory keeping the score close, but you are very much in this football game, and it's 4th down and 5. It's time to go. They don't go, they punt, which of course as Florida fans will take it, right? We're in a dogfight here we don't want to be in, but missed opportunity there for Charlotte for sure. I think you play to win the game, and I think Charlotte in this case was sort of playing to keep the score close. At any rate, they elect a punt, and Florida takes over. And then eventually, as we're going to see, Charlotte gets the ball back. 4th and 10, Charlotte put together a nice little drive, but with just 1 minute left and 1 timeout left, even if they score right here, they'd have to kick an onside kick. Goes back to that 4th and 5 decision earlier, but I digress. 4th and 10 here, Florida wants to get them off the field and get out of here with a W and a clean defensive performance for the most part. We're going to bring just 4. Once again, let's watch the gap integrity of Florida's rushers. Princely comes inside, which leads Banks to come outside, and once again, we have what you want to see. Keep the quarterback in the pocket. That's excellent work by Florida. I cannot say this enough. Look at that. This is excellent, 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 excellent stuff. Florida did not always do it in this game, but they have done it almost all season, and whenever they have the right personnel in, they tend to do it almost every single time. Get it done here again. Enough pressure. He's throwing, look at this, not how you want to be throwing this pass, leaning back, right? Just lobbing one up there on 4th and 10. This ball is thrown way out of bounds. Get the quarterback off the spot, keep him in the pocket, especially if he's a runner, and execute well. Florida did that for the most part in this game, again, continuing an incredible, remarkable turnaround from what we saw last year. If you've been watching this from episode 1 of this season, this is not a surprise to you. That's why watching film is so instructive. What you see on film is repeatable and sustainable, and we said it from the very first game Florida played against Utah. What you saw in that game would carry over. It was only going to get better. It was not a fluke. And we have seen that from this defense. The turnaround continues. Again, Coach Ham, he is him. He is a star. Austin Armstrong, definitely the next big thing as far as defensive coordinators in mind goes, not only because he's a gifted thinker, but also he's an excellent communicator and teacher, getting his players to do what he wants them to do. That is really the hardest thing about coaching, and he is doing that. So Florida does get the win. The defense looks good. The defense is the alpha unit of this team. They are the ones that are getting wins for this football team. Obviously, as Florida fans, we're thankful for that. The offense needs to pick up the slack and carry their own weight. But right now, the defense, make no mistake about it, is the best unit on this football team and is largely carrying the day for Florida. All right, that's going to do it for this film review. I'm James from the GNFP, and I look forward to being with you next week when I break down all of the action from Florida at Kentucky. Until next time, go Gators.